into intrinsic cause, like you're just setting up. Oh, it's just like saying that we have like
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Peter Molina. I'm a court practitioner for the day. I'm happy to be here and share my Sunday with you. It's a wonderful thing. Wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here. Don't have any question about that, okay? If you do, come and talk to me. So I'm going to do an opening prayer for us to share. And then we have our time when we can greet each other, namaste, like this, or hug, whatever you want to do. And then we'll have our opening song. No, it's the other way around. Opening song, and then we will greet each other. Leave it to me to get it backwards. All right. Recognizing that one power, that one presence that is living and breathing in each and every person here. That one power that is love, nothing but love, pours itself into its creation, and we receive it. The opportunity is always to say yes to that love. You don't have to, but it's always there. Knowing that our words are our bond in more ways than one. I speak my word for each and every one of you, knowing that when you leave here today, you're going to be totally full, spiritually fed up to the brim. And I'm so grateful to be able to speak this, my word for you, knowing that the word is the thing. In this present moment, what you say, what you speak, that's where your life comes from. So releasing this, my powerful word, into that law, I say, and so it is.
So it is.
All right. And so now we have our song. So please, if you want to stand, you can. You don't need to, but if you want to.
This is a good chair dancing song.
I am thankful,
Grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is one. Daily I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song. Calling love to the center, lifting all is one. I sing it now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Singing now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony. Calling love to the center, lifting all. We are free. Free dance time. Day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song.
Official greeting. Oh, thanks. You can't remember it. So weird. I used to be pretty big when I was around. Her kids got it. Good. Thank you. Wow.
It is my distinct pleasure to welcome Reverend Patricia to the podium.
Well, good morning, all.
Good morning.
Before we get too settled, I have an announcement. Somebody has a birthday. Somebody important to this community has a birthday, and he doesn't get near enough recognition. Peter, was your birthday yesterday or today?
Yes.
Yesterday. I'm not going to sing to you because you don't want to hear me.
That's fine.
No, flat is not the best way to go.
Can the rest of us sing to him now?
Absolutely. Who would like to lead the song? Mary? You go. I'll start it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday to you.
Okay. So, what do we teach? Why do you keep coming back here? It's because of what we teach. And Science of Mind has a lot of things that it teaches, but kind of the top four is there's a power for good, and we can use it by thinking, because all thought is influential and creative. Everything begins in the mind. Everything you do, everything that's created, begins in the mind. And that includes your life. So it behooves us to learn how to think. One of the catchphrases for Science of Mind is we don't teach you what to think. We teach you how to think. And the how is about mindfulness, being mindful of what you're thinking, because that puts you in a place of choice. And you can choose what you think and what you don't. So there's only God. Okay, that power for good is also known as God. You can call it anything you want. But there's only God, and all evil starts and stops in the mind of people. Now, why would that be true? See, number one, all thought is creative and influential. That includes what thoughts we call evil or bad. They all start in the mind, and they all influence. So everything in our experience is either a call for love or an expression of love, and there are absolutely no exceptions. It gets tricky because most of us are not yet able to express perfect love 100% of the time. Okay? So our expression of love can also be mixed with a call for love. And that's, most of us give mixed messages. But understand that everything is either a call for love or an expression of love. And finally, we teach that you are whole, perfect, and complete. And you always have been. Because you were created by divinity, out of divinity, and we live within divinity. Your behavior can be anything. Good, bad, or indifferent. Who you are has always been whole, perfect, complete. And there's nothing you can do to change that. That's the good news. It's always been true and it always will be true. So if you want to know more about these, that's why we have classes. Stay with us, check us out, we'll have classes. There's nothing scheduled at the moment because we're in the summer, but there will be in the fall.
How about today?
How about today? Oh, we have a workshop today that you'll hear more about. And you'll hear absolutely more about thought being creative and influential. Okay. So now let's go in for a meditation. I want to take a great big deep breath. Well, that felt good. So we do that again. Great big deep breath. Just let it all out. And just sit in your seat comfortably. Feel your feet on the ground. Let your shoulders drop. You don't need them around your ears. And just keep breathing until all of you gets here. Feel your heart opening and your mind quieting. Think of a slide, a children's slide attached to your thoughts, and they just go sliding down and off and go playing, and you just stay here, quiet, peaceful. And another deep breath, just to let out any tension or concern that might still remain. And listen to these words by Fyodor Dostoevsky. If you love all things, if you love all things, you will also attain the divine mystery that is in all things. For then your ability to perceive the truth will grow every day. And your mind will open itself to an all-embracing love. Love the animals. Love the plants. Love everything. If you love everything, you will perceive the divine mystery that is in all things. Once you perceive it, you will begin to comprehend it better every day. And you will come at last to love the whole world with an all-embracing love. things, and you will come at last to love the whole world with an all-embracing love. And into this silence, let's draw today's readings. From Ernest Holmes, love begets tolerance, and tolerance begets understanding, which is being able to put oneself in the other person's place and see why they act as they do, and why they do what they do. Thus, love can create a better world in which to live. It is the one power which can and must bring peace to a changing world. And from Ram Dass, unconditional love really exists in each of us. It is part of our deep inner being. It's not so much an active emotion as a state of being. Now it is my great honor and pleasure to introduce you to one of the lights in my world. This is my brother from another mother. He is a brilliant speaker, teacher, and minister. He's got the heart that just surpasses. It's just full of love, non-judgment, total acceptance, and yet being able to see truth clearly and express it in a way that is so loving and so genuine. He is authentically who he is. So it's my joy to introduce, to have us welcome Reverend Mitch Austin. And he's currently the senior minister at the Sierra Center in Grass Valley.
Yes. Happy Sunday, everyone! Can we give it up for Patricia and Doug? See what they do behind the scenes because I'm their unofficial roommate most weeks. And let's not forget Alexis. Aspen. You have two names now. Alexis Aspen. Wonderfulness. So we know the answer. It's love. Right. How do we do it? We're going to talk about that today and get really granular. And the title of today's talk is Perfect Love Casts Out Fear. And love's many things. It's an adjective, it's a verb, it's a noun. And we're going to run through various versions of that. So I'm going to start with a story. A Jewish family moved to Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't know why they picked Lincoln, Nebraska, but that's where they moved to. And Michael Weissner was a cantor at his Jewish church, and his wife Julie and their children were unpacking the boxes, hanging the pictures, learning which floorboards creaked in the house, all the things you do in a new home. And it was a new chapter for them. It was filled with hope and excitement. Then the phone rings. It's an anonymous voice that says, "You'll be sorry you ever moved to Nebraska, Jew boy." 2 days later, Julie pulls out an envelope from the mailbox. Inside is a note. "The KKK is watching you, scum," along with hate literature, anti-Semitic pamphlets, neo-Nazi flyers to their home address. They know where they live. Can you imagine that? It's one thing to get a phone call, but to know that somebody is targeting you and they know where you live. The police identified the likely culprits, and the main guy they found was behind this. His name was Larry Trapp. He was the Grand Dragon of the White Knights of the KKK of Nebraska. A man who spent years terrorizing minorities across the state. His apartment was crammed with automatic weapons, Nazi paraphernalia, and hate literature. He actually had plans to bomb a synagogue. He was one of the most dangerous men in the Midwest. Now I'm going to ask you a question. What would you do? Pack up and leave? Not in Lincoln, Nebraska, not for us. Most of us would bolt for the doors, maybe arm ourselves, right? Get a gun or get the security system, get big dogs, live in fear. And who would blame us? Who would blame Michael's family? But that isn't what they did. They did something different. And something that wasn't just brave, but a living demonstration of the most powerful force in the universe, love. And I want to tell you this story this morning because of what happened next. It wasn't just remarkable, it was a healing. You know, in the Bible, aka Metaphysical Handbook, that's how we look at it, it says in John chapter 4, "Such love has no fear because perfect love expels all fear." That one sentence contains an entire idea that could heal the world of its separation and pain. That one sentence, if really understood and really lived, would change everything we know about this world. living that one sentence would help us forgive quicker, judge less, and give more grace to ourselves and others. If all we did was that. And I want to start with a definition of love. And I think there is no better definition of love than Paul's letter in Corinthians. I think it's one of the most beautiful descriptions of love I've ever read. It goes, love is patient, love is kind, and envies no one. Love is never boastful, not conceited nor rude, never selfish, and not quick to take offense. Love keeps no scorecard of wrongs. Love does not gloat over others' mistakes, but delights in truth. There is nothing love cannot face. There is no limit to its faith, hope, and endurance. And there are three things that last forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. Did you catch that? There's nothing love cannot face. Not some things, not easy things, not things that are safe and comfortable. Love can face the diagnosis. Love can face the betrayal. Love can face the large financial loss or the huge mistake that you made. You know who always forgives? Is a perfect demonstration of love in action. Dogs. I think dog is God spelled backwards for a reason. I'm just saying. Paul isn't describing a warm feeling. He's describing a force, a power, something with the capacity to walk into the darkest, most fearful room in your life and fill it with light. See, when we get down to the nitty-gritty about what fear is a lie about who you are. Fear says you are separate from your power, from your good, from your protection, from the grace and goodness of Spirit. Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind, he says fear is based on the supposition that we are unprotected, rejected, and friendless. It's not true. Fear isn't just an emotion. Fear is a story about who we are and where we stand in the universe. And the story goes something like this. I'm alone. I'm vulnerable. I must protect myself. No one's looking out for me. It's all of that survival wiring that yaps at us. And by the way, that's what's under your inner critic too. So if you come today, we're going to take care of that. Holmes goes on to say, he says, fear is a symptom of a belief in separation from our source of good or God. It's a symptom. The next time you feel afraid, I want you to see it as a symptom, right? You know, we have a sore throat, what do? Go, that's a symptom, and we pop up the lung right there. Figure out what's going on. Well, we can do the same when fear pops up and check in with ourselves. What are we believing? What are we thinking about ourselves? See, we have forgotten that we are not alone. We are expressions of the infinite intelligence that created everything. You were a good idea in the mind of God. God could have created anybody. Right? Everything's a thought before it's a thing. You were a good idea in the mind of God. And our all-powerful, all-loving, all-wise creation doesn't leave its creation alone. It walks with it, cares about it, tends to it. You know who lived the fear narrative? Larry Trapp. Sitting alone in his apartment, surrounded by his weapons and hate literature, he was also wheelchair bound. He was losing his legs to untreated diabetes. Larry Trapp was afraid. His hatred was loud and violent, but underneath all that hatred was a man who believed at the deepest level that the world was against him. Probably the biggest call for love you could imagine. He believed that he had to fight or be destroyed, that he was completely alone, and his fear looked like anger and cruelty. Fear looks like a man sending death threats from a dirty apartment because he's convinced himself that his loneliness is somebody else's fault. You know, Buddhism teaches the root of all suffering is the illusion of a separate self. The belief that I end at my skin and everything beyond me is the other and potentially threatening. And what I love about our teaching is where we end, there's a spirit, a power for good that keeps going. That's in every room that we can't be in, every discussion that's for our good. See, love dissolves that illusion. Love looks at the face across from it and says, I see myself in you. There are only two emotions, by the way, love and fear. And only one of them is real. Every fearful thought is a case of mistaken identity. You are not fragile. You are not an isolated being fighting a hostile world. You are love expressing itself in human form. And when we remember that, when we really remember that, there's nothing to be afraid of. Love is a feeling, not a force. And here's where we get tripped up. We wait to feel loving before we act loving. Anybody ever do that? No. I don't feel loving. I'm not going to be so loving with you. Right? We do that. We think love is something that happens to us like a warm breeze, and until it arrives, we're off the hook. But Paul's description of love doesn't sound like a feeling. It sounds like a practice. Patient, kind, not quick to take offenses, no score. Faces everything. You don't stumble into that kind of love, you choose it. And Michael Weissner chose to be the force of love towards Larry Trapp, the man threatening to kill his family. And what Michael did was make a choice that was rooted in his faith. He told the congregation to pray for Larry Trapp. And then you know what he did? He started calling Larry Trapps, and this is when they had answering machines. And he would leave them the kindest message. Hope you're doing good today, Larry. All of these little love bomb messages. In fact, at one point, Larry accidentally answered the phone. Larry's like, don't leave me these messages. Yelled at him. See, Michael kept calling week after week, not because it felt natural, but because, and not because Trapp deserved it, but because love was the only weapon large enough to disarm that kind of fear, that kind of hate. Now, Ernest Holmes writes, we will never feel at home in life or at one with God and with life until love has become real, dynamic, and a part of our awareness. And dynamic is the word. That's what I'm talking about. Dynamic means active, moving, alive, not passive, an active force. Love casting out fear, fun fact, is actually also biological. Did you know that? Neuroscience supports this, that when we engage in acts of love and we start to feel love, we circulate oxytocin, right, the love hormone, the bonding hormone, and when that gets released, what it also does, besides makes us feel good and connected, it reduces the activity of the amygdala, which is our fear brain. Literally turns down the volume of fear, physically. So it displaces fear biochemically, and perfect love casts out fear, not just as poetry, but also as physiology. See, the body knows what the soul has always known. It's just our humanness gets in the way, right? Every now and then. Holmes tells us, open your being to the influx of love. Not just love of God, but love of everything. Yes, love of your neighbor who won't put their garbage cans away for 5 days or whatever's going on. Love of everything. It's inclusive. And that means not just the people or situations, but everything. See, not love for people who have earned it. Nobody is outside its reach. You know who practices this? Is Joel Osteen. And he says, when people draw a circle and leave me out, I draw a bigger circle and include them. We all walk around doing that. And here's the thing to remember. You cannot outthink your way. You cannot think your way out. You must love your way out. You cannot think your way. Our brains want to write the little track it runs at 2 a.m. trying to figure it out. Instead, what if we shifted to acts of love? That powerful force. If some of you are carrying fear right now, maybe it's fear about health, maybe it's fear about AI and the tech future, maybe it's fear about the upcoming elections, fear about Social Security, or maybe it's fear about your child's future. Maybe they're struggling. Fear about state of the world or the environment, right? There's plenty of things we could focus on. And if you try to think your way out of it, reason with it, analyze it, make pros and cons lists. Any pros and cons lists people? I tell you pros and cons lists. Here's what Holmes would say, is you cannot outthink fear. You can only outlove it. You can only outlove it. I love what Sufi poet Rumi, any Rumi fans? Love me some Rumi, I know, right? It says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you've built against it. The barriers look like this: unforgiveness, judgment, expectations, unworthiness. See, the love is already there. When we remove the hate, what's left? When we remove the anxiety, what's left?
Peace.
Peace. All children, byproducts of love. It's always there. But that filter of fear, whether it's anxiety, judgment, keeps us from it. It is the nature of the universe, the nature of God's Spirit, source energy, divine mind, but by whatever name you call it, is always present. And the work is not to create love. The work is to remove what's blocking it. And we know what's blocking it. And that was the work that Michael did. He didn't defeat Larry Trapp with hatred or with an argument or hand him, why Judaism is a great religion. He didn't do anything. He didn't debate him on theological truths and why racism is wrong. He just showed up. And here's what quietly changed the shape of the story. The man he had been sending death threats to was not a powerful figure behind a fortress wall. He was a sick, dying man alone in a dirty apartment. No one in the world was offering him anything except the ideology that told him his loneliness was someone else's fault. See, Michael saw this, and he decided it mattered. He decided Larry mattered. He and Julie showed up at Trapp's store unannounced one night with a homemade dinner. They didn't come to debate him. They came to show him love and concern. And get this, as Trapp's health worsened, the Weissners, you know what they did? They invited Larry to live with them. Not only that, Julie quit her job to take care of Larry until his death. The man who had once threatened them had now become a friend. And not only did he become a friend, he converted to Judaism. That is a Jewish prayer shawl on Larry's shoulders. See, that force of love is larger than the human personality moving through this vessel. Larry took the vows to become a Jew. He asked for help to take down the symbols of hate on his apartment wall. The man who had embodied threat and harm and the fear-generating machine, now disarmed by the power of love. And that's the practice. It's what I call a practice of turning. Not denial, not pretending that the fear isn't there, but acknowledging it and making a conscious decision, a deliberate decision, to redirect our attention and ask the question, what would love do here? Just pause long enough before you run out the door to ask, what would love do here? Not what does my fear demand, what do I require here, or what am I entitled to? Just what would love do? The answer almost always is we want to connect, offer something, lean in, listen, hold space. You know, listening and acknowledgement is not agreement. We can do that. And it's a necessary part of loving somebody unconditionally, or bring a pie, a quiche, some grace, a meatloaf. See, love is large enough to include the enemy, and that's the hardest part. And that's the heart of this message. Perfect love, the love John describes, love Holmes points us towards, is all-inclusive. It draws no circle around itself. It has no enemies, and it is not naive or passive. There is only one life expressing itself through many faces. And what if we exclude in consciousness the threat? We try to divide something that cannot be divided. Larry Trapp died on September 6, 1992. He had converted to Judaism, and the very synagogue he had once planned to bomb, he was there, he died surrounded by love. The house was full. Many openly cried. A man who had spent decades spreading hate died in the very community he tried to destroy because one family refused to let fear be the last word. That is not just a feel-good story, it's a theological statement, right? It's the universe demonstrating in real time the power of perfect love and what it does when we show up unconditionally. You know, the Zulus have a philosophy, it's called Ubuntu, that says, I am because of you. My wholeness is connected to your wholeness. My freedom is connected to your freedom. And when I extend love to you, even when you threaten me, even when you have hurt me, I am not just helping you, I am completing something in myself. Ernest Holmes says, there is no fear in love, and there is no liberation from fear without love. No liberation from fear without love, not discipline, not willpower, not positive thinking alone. Love is a liberating agent that sets us free. So, is there someone in your life that's called for love? Maybe you haven't forgiven, right? This is your opportunity to get them not living rent-free in your head anymore and build a bridge. Or maybe there's somebody in your environment you haven't connected with. You haven't made it a point to extend love to you. So this is your divine assignment this week. I want you to think of that person. And what's one loving thing you can do? One loving thing. And you don't have to swing for the fences. Let's start small. I know for me, I had a meeting. I'm the treasurer of this group, and the president treated me kind of roughly in the meeting, and now all I want to do is not be around him. And then, the story starts, I don't want to be here, I should quit, I should just leave, right? That's the human part. But here's my work, to lean in. He was a call for love in that meeting, and it landed on my doorstep. Now I have a choice. I can run away and judge him, and nobody would blame me, he was not acting right. Or I'm planning, I'm going to see him at a potluck, I'm going to get him to the side. And I'm going to say, hey, this thing happened. I realize that maybe you were expecting this from me, and I'm going to own that. And the way you handled it, it hurt. Can we do some repair plans? Can we do that? Right? That's what love is strong enough to do. So that's my example. That's my divine assignment. So we'll check in with you next week. Holmes tells us to open your being to the influx of love. Not just the love of God, but the love of everything. Not just waiting for the feeling first, but as a practice. So, first thing we can do is we can remember when fear shows up, mistaken identity. It's not who we are, right? That's not the truth of my being. I am a piece of source, fully supported, guided, and held with unlimited love, unlimited power, and unlimited wisdom. When we really know that, what is there to fear? That's your senior program. Second practice is to choose love before you feel it. Don't wait for the feeling. Ask, what would love do? The third practice is to expand your circle until it has no edges. No one is outside of it. Not because they deserve it, but because your wholeness requires it. And there's no liberation from fear without love. The Ubuntu practice. I am because we are. The greatest of these is love. Not just the greatest feeling, not just the greatest force, not just the greatest power, but the greatest truth of God expressing through us. That God being of us on the planet. Perfect love casts out fear. Michael Weissner didn't let fear have the last word. It showed up. He showed up at Larry's apartment and he filled it with light and love. See, love enlarges us in a way that makes fear small and disempowered. So let us remember today, let us practice all week loving acts, loving thoughts, and loving words. Let us trust that the universe at its core is not a place of threat, but a place of love. And we are invited every single day to prove it. And when we do, when our circle has no edges and love is left, there will be no place for fear to exist.
Before we go into the song, can you go back to the picture of Larry? Look at that face.
It's filled with love.
Yes. That is one of the most loving faces. I can't imagine what it was like before, given what that is. Okay. Now we have the song that I picked especially for Mitch. Oh. This is a live performance from my church.
The whisper of prayer, its voices and laughter. It's the wind in the stillness, in the spaces between. It's a spark of fire.
song on. It'll get you moving and feeling it so you can walk in love. Thank you so much, Mitch.
Yes.
Okay, now is the time for demonstrations and calls for treatment. Who's got a demonstration for me? Susan.
I do. We all know, I think, that my husband's been in the hospital and various other places for a couple of months, 3 months now. It's been April, May, and June. And the last coming out of the hospital was that he had congestive heart failure, and he had, being in a hospital bed for all of that time, he could, coming out of it, not move, and also literally he could not pick up his leg when he was lying in bed and move it. So he now has been in rehab, and we've gone to see the cardiologist, and the cardiologist tells us that he no longer has AFib, and that his congestive heart failure is really not that great, that his heart is strong, and the problem with it is that it has hardened with age, and it doesn't pump as vigorously as it used to, but it still works. And so he'll be coming home someday next week. Yes, he can now walk and pretty much take care of things for himself. So it's a demonstration for sure. Thank you for the prayers.
Hallelujah.
And I think all of us could use a treatment for having our hearts soften a little bit. Anybody else? Ooh.
I don't need a microphone, I can talk loud.
Okay, you talk loud while I get the Mary.
Perfect. My little sibling, and I say sibling because they're in transition, has for a long time, we have questioned whether or not they would graduate this year. They were on the ragged edge. They told me that they had given up. And yet, on Friday, I got to see them walk.
Woohoo!
I'm very proud of them.
Well, I just wanted to say that somebody close to me that I love very much said to me this week, God isn't a person, but it is something. And that was a real breakthrough for this person, because I think sometimes our dogmatic Christian backgrounds, they keep us from understanding truth. And I think that this was a real breakthrough, because it was just a recognition that God exists, because I think this person just really didn't think God did exist. So it was very exciting.
That was a profound shift.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Large or small? Demonstrations can be large or small.
They're all the same.
They're all the same.
I have one. I don't know if the mic goes.
You're gonna have to come up a little bit.
So, my name is Mara. Hi. I've been a part of the church off and on for years. But a friend of mine, I had a feeling had passed away. And so I didn't even know you guys existed. You know, I didn't even know there was a little caveat of spiritual living people. So I found out today about that. And I just want to honor Delane and let her know that I love her and I came to her. Thank you.
We can thank Elaine for a number of things, one of which is the finding of Mitch. Way back when Mitch was just a mere practitioner, before he became an enlightened minister for the West Act Church, she advocated for him to be a speaker for probably 2 years. And they finally got dates that worked out, and he showed up, and we fell in love with him. Did I tell you my car sold?
Oh,
It had been on the list for like 2 weeks, and I went to my practitioner, my prayer partner, and said, okay, we need to do a treatment about the buying and selling of things. And the next day, the guy said, is your car still there? And he came and he drove it, and he didn't drive it more than 2 minutes. And he was going, this is it, this is my car. And that was how I felt when I bought the car. So that's my demonstration. Okay, who has a treatment request? Keep it brief, I just need to know what you want treatment for. Emma?
Me health.
You health. B?
Scott Cool.
Scott? Cool as in opposite of hot?
No, Kuhl. Cool.
Cool, okay. Anybody else?
Shane LeBron, my daughter.
For?
Good question.
Then we'll go with Peter's. Highest, best, greatest joy.
Yeah.
Same for Cool?
Healing.
Healing.
Me for peace.
Always can use peace, yes.
My name's Debbie, for health.
For health.
Yes.
Okay.
Tony,
Continuing for Richard. For,
and Tony for highest good, greatest joy.
Okay.
And Donna, that just got, my best friend that just got diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and she was going to get back sooner than that, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Sounds like health, highest good and greatest joy.
Peace.
And peace. And the continuing awareness that there is only one ineffable, infinite presence of love. It is always the Creator creating creation. I live in that field of infinite possibility, of infinite creativity. And so does absolutely everyone for whom treatment has been requested this morning. And that field seeps in to every pore and every thought, not from the outside, from the inside. Because inside each of these wonderful lives is that creative presence, is that fountain of love, is that desire to live fully, joyfully, to be who they came here to be, with health and vitality, and that absolute peace that comes from knowing in every nook and cranny of ourselves that we are connected to that one life, that one infinite love. And because we live in this field of infinite possibility, we claim, each of us, and I claim for each person, their highest good, their greatest joy, their fullest expression of the divine essence that they truly are. They came into the world perfect, whole, and complete. And when it is their time, they will leave this world perfect, whole, and complete, unchanged. But for now, I know their expression is vital. It truly is love in action. And for all this and more, I give great thanks. And so it is.
So it is. Such a gift, Reverend, thank you. So now is our time of giving.
Are we gonna do that?
Yeah, we should do the announcement. I don't get to do that. So we have an opportunity to invest in the kind of community you want to build and be a part of. As you give, so you receive. Give with joy and gratitude. Support your flow of good as well as the second flow of good. The medium offering is usually $35 a week. We give what you can. All right? And here's our abundance affirmation. Please say them with me. Abundance affirmation.
In the consciousness of abundance, I give freely, knowing that I am freely given to, and so it is.
Let me start the announcement from there.
We have a few announcements today, so we'll get started. As always, watch your weekly newsletter for planned activities. And I want to thank Teresa, who sent out this week's newsletter. This is called The Joy of Volunteers. Today, Reverend Mitch is presenting the Taming Your Inner Critic. You've been seeing the flyers. Now you've met him. Mitch, come tell us more about this.
Who would like to find the mute button to their inner critic? Anybody? Yes. And by the way, there are 7 types of inner critic. One's bad enough, I know. We have a little quiz. You'll find out your top types. You'll get some really great tools. We'll laugh a lot. We'll make fun of our inner critic. And I do want to mention Delane. Delane was a big fan of this workshop. In fact, 6 months after she had taken a true story, she left me a message and said, call me back, I have something really exciting to tell you. And I thought, maybe she won the lottery. And she just wanted to tip me or something, right? So I called her back, she goes, remember the inner critic workshop? And I wanted to go to this meeting, but my voices were telling me not to, and that people would judge me, but I used my tools and I went and I met all these amazing people.
Aww.
It's incredible what we can do once we get a hold of that fear voice versus it getting a hold of us. So, hope you can join us after service. I think
We're going to be at the annex.
Yes.
Grab lunch, come on over.
Yes.
This is a munch and learn.
Munch and learn. Yeah, so we'll probably get started around 12:15, just to give people time breaks.
And how long? It's about an hour? Or?
Hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. Yes, love offering. So, thank you.
I want to thank the Cartans for hosting. We had a fabulous day. We have 2 tables full of rummy tiles,
Wow.
and we've learned that we need to put a timer on some people because one table did 3 hands, and one table finally got through their first hand. We learned. Spiritual Living Center, or Circle, is a small discussion group based on the Science of Mind magazine, and it's going to be at Susan Nice home, and I'm going to let Susan come up and say something, or I'll bring the microphone to you.
All right, here we go. It's this week, of course, we're doing June. You don't have to have done anything. I prefer that you read something in the book or online so that we could discuss. But it's just a discussion group about this magazine, about what hits you, what's important to you in it, what article you really loved and spoke to you, whatever. It's continuing. You don't need to have done it before. 3 o'clock, my house, and we'd love to have you come.
One of the lead articles in this month's magazine is called Becoming the Beloved Community, which just so happens to be a book that the board is currently reading, because that is something that we are looking at using as a conscious model. And I think it is not insignificant that it's a lead article in a magazine devoted to love. Next Sunday, the West Sac Center for Spiritual Awareness is having, which is one of our sister communities, is having a Juneteenth celebration. This is the flyer. There's more just outside. Grab one. It's going to be one of those, you show up, there is a group meeting about the theme, which is liberation, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of entertainment, drumline, improv theater, all kinds of cool things, and then there's going to be a feast. They will provide some of the food, and it's a potluck in for the rest of it, and it's Sunday, next Sunday from 1 to 4:30. So take a look. They do wonderful programs there.
And we're going.
Yes, we're going.
We'll be there.
Next visioning for the future of our community is this Wednesday, June 17th, 5:30 p.m. at the Annex. Visioning is probably one of the most incredible tools for bringing, I want to say bringing your future to you, but that's not quite right. It's for recognizing what is drawing you into becoming more and bigger internally. Yeah, it'll show up externally, but it's about who do we want to be as a community in our heart of hearts. You know, what is our greatest idea, biggest good, what is the greatest good, greatest joy? Come. It's a wonderful thing, and you don't have to do anything except show up. We run the visioning.
Will you be doing Zoom?
I can do Zoom. You know, if you don't know the CSL Zoom number, contact me and I'll give it to you. Okay? And that be the announcements.
I have one.
Oh,
We could still use a couple more people to sign up for bringing a cake for the birthdays for,
first Sunday.
for the first Sunday of the month.
And I could still use a tech volunteer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ann's taken over Carol Marr's job of doing the birthday cakes the first of the month. So if you've got a special cake that you'd like to bring the first of any month, please talk to Ann. Yes.
We have in our community, we have what's called Warm Hearts, and we meet every other Friday. And we've been holding them at Patricia's home, but now we've started passing the torch. So it'll be at my house this next Friday from 10 a.m. to 12. Everyone's welcome. So
It used to be called Warm Hearts, Busy Hands, because it was a group of women, and it was like bring your knitting, your crocheting, your embroidery, your mantra coloring, whatever. It's now Warm Hearts, Busy Mouths. You're still welcome to bring anything for handwork. And men are not excluded. Men are cordially invited. But it's basically just a wonderful time to get together and talk. So, we done?
We're done.
We're done. It's time for our closing song.
Yay.
Want to come on, get up if you want to.
So we were listening to this, and that's why I'm in the middle. But yeah, let's do the middle.
Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day.